Joining us today on Phoenix TV is Phoenix forward Kyle Bruce. Kyle, welcome to Phoenix TV.
Hi, nice to be here.
Kyle, obviously you were a late signing for the Manchester Phoenix, although not necessarily a late signing, but a late arrival due to the problems that everybody just about had this year gaining work permits and visas. But you didn't waste your time while you were waiting to come to Manchester, did you?
No, I went to Vancouver to start training, and I was there for 2 months. I work as a personal trainer running hockey schools, and it actually gave me a lot more time to get on the ice and keep training, which was good, and I enjoyed it being closer to my family. But I was really anxious to get to Manchester and start playing. I wanted to contribute and get time to gel with the team, and I didn't get a chance to do that, but everything seems to be working out so far.
So you've had a good start since you arrived in Manchester. You've scored some key goals, and I guess some of the people have probably been delighted at some of the touch you've shown around the goal.
Well, I've always felt I've had a pretty good touch around the net. I have other aspects of my game that I'm quite good at, so most coaches really want me to play physical, play the body. But over that time, I've really got to develop my skills, which being in Vancouver a little extra gave me time to work on. So, I'm happy with my production, and I'm happy with the guys I'm playing with in the team right now.
You mentioned the physical side of the game, and that obviously is a key part of your game. And you've got very strong views on the art of hitting, haven't you? The art of actually playing and laying a body check on an opponent.
Yeah, well, I've worked on it from a really young period. And, in Canada we have, I don't know if everyone's watched them here, but we have they're called Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em videos. And growing up every Christmas I'd get the Rock'em Sock'em, and I could have cared less about watching the highlight reel goals, but I really like watching the big body checks and how Don Cherry always said that's the Canadian way of playing. And I really practiced that growing up, and I feel that I've got a good stance on it. In hockey standards, I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so I'm pretty low to the ice, so it gets my center of gravity pretty low, so I'm able to time the hits and get good body checks on guys. And as you can see from my eye, it happens sometimes. It goes the other way, and I try and hit a guy, and my face lands on a guy's helmet, and there you go, little black eye, no big deal.
You mentioned learning the game as a youngster, and you played in the Western Hockey League, and that's probably one of the toughest junior leagues in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty rough league, and especially I played out east in Saskatchewan, and they're all farmers and tougher sort of people, so they really appreciate the rough hockey and the fighting and the hitting. So I really got gelled towards that there. At times I kind of wish they'd let me play a bit more offensively and skill, but that was my game and that was my role in the team. And whenever a coach asks for me, that's what I'm going to do. So here I'm getting more time to play offensively alongside my physical game. I'm really enjoying it.
Of course, last year when you were with the Wichita Thunder, you won an accolade as the Glass Rattler of the Year. I guess the Wichita fans like to lay in a few body hits as well.
Well, that's what I do is especially if we're losing, I like to be a bit more physical and try and set a tone, and hopefully guys follow my example. And it's been great here. We've been winning. Exceptions a couple games here and there, but we've been winning really well. So it's not really necessary for me to go out there and run around, hit guys, and get the other team stirred up. But in Wichita, we didn't have the best team in the world. So I'd be out there playing a physical brand of hockey, and trying to get our team going, and obviously giving the fans what they come to see. If we're losing, if I'm out there fighting and hitting, that gives them sort of their entertainment that they pay for, and that's what I like to do here. If something happens and I have to fight, if fans want to see it, that's what they're going to get.
Now, you mentioned fighting, and that is part of the game. It's very much part of ice hockey. And one of the early scraps you had here was with Adam Stefishin, and it was a lot of people who've seen that game, including some of the officials, have said that was one of the best fights they've seen for a long time. And you two guys really went at it. But the strange thing is, off the ice, you two guys are the best of mates, aren't you?
Yeah, we're really good buddies, and I've went up to Edinburgh and hung out with Adam a couple times. But you know what? Sometimes when you're playing with a good buddy, you fight even harder because you're not going to let him get the upper hand on you. And the next time you go out for a couple beers, he's bringing it up. Oh, remember that time I laid a whooping on you? And it's something between friends where you don't want to necessarily hurt the guy. So you kind of feel safe in the sense that somebody's not going to do something stupid and really injure you personally, but you're not going to let the other guy beat you. You're going to give him all you got as well.
It's strange, isn't it? Because there's a perverse honesty in fighting between friends.
Yeah, there is. You want to win. Maybe if you cut the guy a little bit, that's fine. It makes you feel good, and you kind of laugh about it later. But you're not going to do a cheap shot when you're tied up by the linesman or refs, and then sucker him when he's not looking or something like that when the fight's supposed to be over. So you got that protection in a sense, but in a sense it's still a fight and you're still going hard. And as you can see in that fight, we were both chucking the fist pretty well there.
Absolutely. Now everyone knows that side of the game and sees that side of Kyle Bruce, the guy who'll lay the big hit and get involved in a fight. But away from hockey, when you were at college, you studied classical studies. What exactly was classical studies for Kyle Bruce?
Classical studies is like ancient Rome, ancient Greece, Sparta, things like that. And as you know, there's lots of violence in those period of times too. So you lots of battles, and I really like learning about that. And that's one of the great things about being here in Europe is I went up to Edinburgh. I got to see the castles, and there's so much history in this side of the ocean compared to North America, which you get to learn a different side of it. And I really like. And I'm attending university right now at Bolton, and I'm still taking history, and we're learning about modern Britain and the revolutions, and I really enjoy that. It's just, I feel if you learn from your past, you can avoid future mistakes in the future. And stock markets and things, you learn the past, you see patterns, and look at the world's changing so much right now. And from the past, different cultures like Rome and different places like that, and even in Britain when they were the world superpower, you see similarities between what's happening in the world now and what happened back then. So I find it very interesting.
Absolutely, and it's refreshing to hear that, because obviously people come from North America and play hockey, but you're seeing this very much as part of continuing your education.
Oh, it's totally. It's a world experience for me, and I always my parents, they traveled immensely when they were younger and got to see all the world. And I grew up, and I always said, I want to travel. I want to live all the places my parents have lived and see the places they did. And until I was 15, I'd never moved, and my dad lived everywhere. And I always said, I want to be like my dad. I want to live in so many different places. But I kind of got the gist of it, because playing major junior, you have to move a lot. And by the time I was 20, I lived in 8 different places. And from 18 to 20, lived in 8 different places. That's a lot of moving around. And now getting Cheska over here, I think it's a great experience. I'm not a big fan of moving every year, but you know what? I'm still young. I want to get the experiences of the world, and you talk to different people. They've been different places. I want to be a part of that conversations where I was when I used to live in Manchester, I lived in Altrincham, I went to Edinburgh and different places like that. I could actually be cultured and say different things and have a good perspective on different events from different points of view.
Well, they say travel broadens the mind, and it obviously helps improve the mind, but I'm sure you won't mind the Manchester Phoenix fans hoping you stay around in Manchester for a lot longer than just 1 year.
Exactly. I'm really enjoying myself right now. The fans are great. The organization, fantastic. The guys on the team, we're all getting along so well. So I'm liking it here right now. I have no complaints, and so I'm just enjoying the time here, and hopefully we can keep on winning, and I don't see why we can't.
Absolutely. Kyle Bruce, many thanks for joining us exclusively on Phoenix TV.
All right, thanks very much.